Here we go, 2019 October. I haven't posted a video in a minute because I just bought a house and been working on that a lot. My granddaughter also came about 3 days ago, and when my daughter's been over here with my son-in-law, wife helping the daughter take care of the baby and everything, and I took time off from working on the house. A bunch of the stuff like that, a bunch of the noise and all that is gonna affect the baby, so I don't want that happening. So here we are, kicked outside, and I like working on these trucks. So here gives me another chance to put more videos and work on these trucks. But today we're not gonna be working on the Rhino slash disaster relief and recovery vehicle. The only different thing on this truck are these badges right here. And I got a 9500 winch, Smitty built. I know some of y'all might be like, well, 9500 is not enough, or whatever. It's not meant for off-roading. The only time it's gonna be seeing the off-road is whenever I go help people during hurricane season, or this past flood that we had here in Houston. This truck, I was able to use this truck as a tool to help people. But today we're not going to be working on that. We're going to be working on a 94 F-150 4x4 single cab. It's white. Basically I'm going to start flipping trucks again. And this material right here, I'm going to make a headache rack, and headache rack slash light rack. The material here I got for $65 and change. So hey, it's a pretty good deal. I got it off the used material section, and I don't need anything new for this project. But here we go, working. Well, you know what, I nicknamed this the Bro because it said Browning right here on the sticker on the back of the truck, and I guess after time the letters were falling off. It had half a W, but I peeled that off, so now we're calling it the Bro. So we're working on the Bro today. Here it is. This angle iron right here, side of the bed, only 20 inches both sides, because it's not gonna be the whole length of the bed. Also, that's 1/4 inch. Using I'm also gonna be using square tubing. I'll put the size gauge description sometime later. Might not, I don't know, it depends how busy I am. But here we go. And this ain't it's not for educational purposes, of course. It's for entertainment, just to show y'all, hey, you could do a lot of this stuff at the house, right? You don't have to buy stuff. It's super expensive. I know these headache racks are about $500, and I'm finna get it done for $65 and change. All right, man. Well, I'll kind of get through the short walkthrough, but right here, the ears on that's it, like right there. I'm making it 25 inches. Need just a little bit sticking out from the top, and I gotta cut the angle out, and we'll go from here. All right, man. All right, so here's what I got so far. So cut the ears. I'm not using an angle finder or going in about any specific type of angle. I'm just grinding, making sure everything's straight, and cutting. This isn't welded in place yet. I just have it in here just for right now. Y'all can see the bed is kind of bent in. You see that? Bed is bent in some, so I'll get to straighten it. I get to have fun and straighten that out whatever kind of way I do that. But I'm gonna take that in place. Right now everything's tacked up. This is 20 inches from here on up. This is 25. And everything, everything's not gonna be lined up because it is an old truck. Of course, you got the wear and tear of old age, and just basically everything on the like. So that's what I got so far, and continuing. Yeah, I know the way that I'm going about this isn't your orthodox way of probably going about it. I mean, with the angles, with the measurements and everything, yeah, it's gonna be off by millimeters, but hey, I mean, I'm not trying to do anything extremely perfect, because if you actually had this thing exactly squared up, I would have a hard time fitting it in because of the bed, because it's such an old, damn mosquitoes, because it's such an old truck. I mean, it's 20 something years old. There's gonna be, the bed is flexed so many times, and of course it's not gonna be 100% square. You see that the bed of the truck, the front of the bed of the truck is already dented in. I'm gonna have to bang that out some kind of way. Well, future project on this truck, I'm gonna have to take the whole bed off, because I will be replacing the fuel sending unit for the front tank. It has 2 tanks. I believe the front sending unit is no good, so that's gonna be replaced, and there'll be a video about that maybe next week, hopefully. But just right now, I'm gonna finish this headache rack. Right now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going by measurements. I'm just basically just cutting and sticking, and I mean, basically, it's not really that hard if you have common sense. You know, I guess nowadays common sense isn't that common. Yeah, go figure. But that's what I got so far. I mean, I like the way it's coming out, but I probably still got some screw ups that are coming up here in the, I guess, in the road of building this headache rack / light rack. So I mean, I see the vision, I see it coming together, even though maybe you don't, that's fine. But I'm gonna have to finish this up tomorrow, because this week I'm on night shift, and it kind of sucks, and I had to cut my day short so I get ready to go to work. All right, man, to be continued. Y'all can see I got the top horizontal bar going all the way across. I'm not really taking any kind of angle measurements or anything like that. I'm just with the pencil, I'm pretty good at eyeballing stuff, so I cut the length that I needed, and it was 54 and a half before I start cutting the angles. And anytime you at an angle this way, and this part, you're going to want to measure the bottom. You don't want to measure the top going all the way across, because then you're going to cut them up short on the bottom. So right now I have it held in place with these vice grips. I'll be taking this on here in a minute. Anytime you do any kind of welding on the vehicle, make sure you disconnect your batteries, or you have a great possibility of damaging your electronics on your vehicle. So what I'm going to be doing is, after I tack this on right here, I'm just going to do some small tacks. After that, I'm going to lay it on the concrete, make sure the concrete is level. I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to put the level on my horizontal bars, make sure they're right on, they're straight leveled, because I don't want this headache rack basically to look like I threw this thing off the Grand Canyon. I'm all jacked up, but that's where we're at right now. All right, now here it is. I'm starting to weld on it. That's the top piece. I already made sure that everything was level, and I'm just continuing to weld on it. Okay, so here we are on day number 3. Usually on the 3rd day, good things happen. Jesus came back. But yeah, on the 3rd day, I haven't been having too much time to work on this. You see what I got so far. I mean, I went from tack. I welded everything up. Not the prettiest welds either, and I don't think OSHA would be proud of me right now. So what I'm doing now is I'm already cutting these pieces. You see how it is? So I'm cutting these pieces to go in here like this. So we're going to continue on with that, and I'm just going to tack them up just for right now, make sure everything's squared up, and we'll go on from there. All right, so here it is. We have these vertical bars, 2 vertical bars in the middle. You got to make sure. I'm not making a bunch of measurements, but I am making measurements where it does count. Right here, make sure the top from here to here, make sure it's measured right, and from the bottom to here is measured right, and on the other side, and even in the middle, you got to make sure the middle from this top to the top of the next one, got to make sure that it's squared up, and also with the bottom you got to make sure that it's squared up also, because I mean you don't want to go down the road with the crooked headache rack, I mean slash rack for the light or whatever you want to call it. But I'm off just a little bit, but like I said, I mean it doesn't matter as long as it does its business, and that's it. I mean, I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm just, if you really want to make precise measurements, that's up to you. This video is basically just saying, hey, you can do this crap at the house. So, on with the build. Alright, I went ahead and added these pieces back there. I'm also going to put some on the top and in the middle. Well, on the middle right here on this side, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that empty space right there. All right, so technically all the welding's done on it. The only thing I need to do left now is, of course, prep it for paint. But before I prep it for paint, I need to go ahead and drill 2 holes on this side, 2 holes on the other side. I was thinking about putting the expander middle right here, and on the other side, I need to drill some holes on the top also for the LED lights that I'm gonna be putting, which is going to be the cube lights. So we'll finish up. I also got to prep it for paint and all that, so we'll be quick about these next few parts. Alright, so basically what I'm doing right now is I'm putting small dots where I'm gonna go ahead and drill the holes to mount these lights right here, right there, to mount those lights. So here we go with the hole drilling. Alright, y'all, I'm finished drilling the holes. If y'all notice, I cleaned them up, every hole. So what I'm gonna do is right here is I'm gonna weld the nut to the hole, but I had the bolt already going through it, and that way I don't have to drill the hole all the way through the square tubing, and it'll have a pretty good set in place with that. But I'm keeping the nut in there while I weld, because sometimes, of course, when metal heats, it expands, and I don't want it to get too warped, out of shape. I'm hoping that this keeping the bolt in will help it keep the shape, but we'll find out here. All right, y'all can see right here, this one got a little bit too close to the bolt, and accidentally kind of welded the bolt on the nut, and it broke, of course, because of heat and all that. But you got to keep turning it whenever you're doing stuff like this. So I'll just have to grind it off. I had to cut it off with a grinder and find another bolt and nut to go with right there. Not a problem. All right, now that they're all welded on, yeah, my welds are ugly, I don't care. Now that they're welded on, I took these bolts out. I don't know if you could see it. If you could see it, focus your stupid camera. Well, you can't really see it too much. A little bit, but it has some splash on the thread, so you got to make sure you clean that out, or you're gonna break a bolt in there somewhere. So here it is. I'm halfway done with mounting the lights on it. I had primed it, and I primed it, let it dry, then I painted it with bed liner. I have one of those guns, so I was able to do that. And I added the ears right here. So here we are, and I got to finish up these 3, and then I'll start doing the wiring for the lights. Alright, y'all, basically here goes the finished product. Ran 6 lights all the way. The only thing different I could have done is put expanded metal on this side and expanded metal on that side, and just to kind of give it a little bit more pop to the rack itself. I haven't finished wiring it up, but I did finish the rack itself, so that's basically what the whole thing was about. And I like it. I mean, I like it. So hope y'all like this video. Maybe encourage y'all to go build something for y'all trucks or vehicles or whatever. All right, y'all have a good one.